If I can't get Archie Short to wear suede shoes within a month, you can call me Deidre in public. Today we're talking about 2003's Bright Young Things. Bright Young Things was written and directed by Stephen Fry, and it is about a couple of socialites in the 30s, 4 of them specifically, and all of their rotten friends, and all of their rotten friends' parents, and the parents' social crowd, and just what it's like to be a celebrity in the 30s if you are a young human. It primarily follows the story of Adam and Nina, this couple in love, because Adam is too poor to marry Nina, because Nina loves him but knows that she can't let herself settle for someone that doesn't have money, because that's just not sensible. Stephen Fry, as I said, wrote and directed this, and so naturally the entire thing is beautiful. Like, the dialogue is very sharp and English and dry, and you gotta love it, and you can just picture Stephen Fry saying all of these things to himself as he's writing them, and then visually it was very well directed. It was beautifully done, and the art direction of it was just so spot on. Like, whoever was in charge of coming up with the sets and the costumes for this movie to be set in the 30s just did a completely marvelous job. It's just a excellent movie that just becomes more relevant with time. Stephen really seems to have his finger on the pulse of what it's like to be a celebrity and how much pressure there is under celebrities to be and do certain things, especially young celebrities. Now, Stephen, I'm sure, never had this problem because he went to college and he was part of the comedy troupe, and the comedy world is a little different than the regular celebrity world, and so, you know, I don't know how heavily he resonated with these characters, but he definitely gets it. We just have such a heavy focus on celebrity, and it's ridiculous, and we just forget that celebrities, especially young celebrities that we model ourselves after, that parents want their kids to model themselves after, are just humans. They are not on Mount Olympus expecting the sort of attention they get. And look what happens when we give them the sort of attention that we do. For example, Amanda Bynes and Lindsay Lohan, and wind up being just nut jobs. And it's all because they were child stars. And we did that to them as a society. We made them these crazy bitches, and we just can't accept that. And then we blame them for their actions when we forced them to become these lunatics. It's just such a strange circle of just trauma that we place on ourselves and on these young celebrities. It was just a perpetual cycle that never ever ended until some major tragedy like World War II. I'm gonna stop talking about that now and move on. All of the younger cast members were relatively unknown actors. This was Stephen Campbell Moore's first movie, and it was an early start for all of our main players like Michael Sheen and James McAvoy and Emily, whose name I can't remember, Emily Mortimer. She was the most famous of all of the young celebrities. And then Blondie here, she's not even on the back. Well, whoever she is. All of them were just very new in the film world and in the acting world. And I find that kind of hilarious that he chose these people that were relatively unknown to portray insane celebrity. I especially love baby Michael Sheen because he's just so stinking cute. In contrast, he had an entire slew of famous older people. You have Stockard Channing and Jim Broadbent and Imelda Staunton and Peter O'Toole and Richard E. Grant and that other lady and that other guy and Dan Aykroyd. And they're all just so good. Stockard especially, she just plays this crazy evangelical, and it's magical. Her costume is just so vibrant and beautiful, kind of like her, and then there, of course, we have our little cameo by Stephen Fry, as the cab driver. And finally, most importantly, one of the primary reasons I watched this movie other than James McAvoy, David Tennant, and David Tennant's little mustache. It's a movie that I love because it's beautiful, and it's romantic, and it's charming, and it makes you wish that you lived in such a simple time where all you had to worry about was what dress you were going to wear to the party you were going to that night, not about paying for things and life and whatever. But ultimately then you realize that they had those same issues, they just made way less than we do now because of inflation, or the lack of it, in the 30s, and especially in England. It's a good movie to sit down and really think about and like reevaluate yourself and your life and your values. Everybody's got issues. Everybody's got to deal with something. Above all else, Stephen Fry. King of the world and of my heart.
They had put a fart machine into my sleeping bag.